finished working on your full face.
You bet them cheeks it's finished! And with picture-perfect measurements, the fit is fitting. And we didn't have to meet up at all because I got his measurements while he slept! And that's not all! It's just for you! Engine and Semi who told me about you, so it's got your swagger!
Providing some extra color commentary, it's Ayato Asuma, a pro you may know from the team Colt Bison.
I haven't played enough fighting games to give you worthwhile commentary on these matches, but I'm happy to be here, folks.
Before we begin today's episode, I just want to allow my guest the opportunity to introduce themselves, tell everybody your name, your occupation, how long you've been in the game, and also share with us your top 3 favorite anime villains and why.
3 anime villains. Okay, I'm Zac Loera. You've heard me on possibly the greatest Alchemist of all time, where I play Takumi, the lead in that show. Also, One Piece, Kaiju No. 8, Ikaruga, Overlord of the Sacred Kingdom as Vijay Rahandala, and more. I think that I'm missing Buddy Daddies. I played the robber, which is really fun. Anime villains?
Or across all media. If you got some
movies
or books you want to throw in here.
Top villain is Hans Inglourious Bastards. I think that's like top villain. I think that's beautifully done. Got to go with the Joker too, because across all the shows and movies, I think Do you have a
favorite version? I always go Heath Ledger. I think he killed it.
I think you kind of have to. He's obviously the best one, I think, just in terms of just raw acting ability, but also the way that he, the facial tics and things that he had, I think was really cool. Third, I would say
anime.
Yeah, I'm gonna go All for One. I think. I think just the idea of him hoarding all of these quirks is insane.
Everyone's so expendable.
Yeah, and he couldn't give a damn about anybody. I think that's. I don't know. Those are definitely my 3.
It's funny you said All for One, because I thought what was so funny in the last season was they were fighting him and everything, and they were finally able to kind of weaken him and beating him for him to just come back younger in his prime. And I was like, oh, that's bull crap.
Yeah.
Crap.
The greatest enemy is plot armor. So
what about you, Branden?
Hi, I'm Branden Loera, the older brother, believe it or not. I'm a voice actor as well. You can see me in Link Click, Heaven Official's Blessing, Blue Lock, Black Butler. Did I say it right the first time? Whatever.
Yeah.
And my first lead recently, tying the knot with an Amagami sister. My 3, I'm gonna try and stick to anime if I can. The very first one that comes to mind is, and I feel bad for not remembering how to say his name, and I was trying to look it up before I said it, but and his spelling doesn't do anything for me. But in Bleach, the guy whose name was like Yhwach.
Yhwach?
I know what it is. Yhwach.
Yes. Okay.
But when you read that, it's like that's not even close. It's like Yhwach. And that's not what it sounds like. But on like, especially towards the final seasons of Bleach, or the most recent seasons, I remember just like fully engrossed in that, and I was like, oh, these guys are getting really close. They're training to get to his level, and then all of a sudden he's just like, you know what, I'm gonna use all the Quincy's powers, that all my lieutenants and stuff, and just like everybody, like treat like All for One. Everybody's expendable. Everybody's a pawn, and not just a pawn, because as like the ritual of them joining the frequencies, they have to share blood and stuff. That's how he ties them to him. And he's like, yeah, I can call on your power whenever I want, in case I ever need it, in case these guys train themselves enough to get to where I'm at now, I can just go 1,000% beyond. And I'm like, wow, this guy just doesn't care. Especially whenever he had like his omniscient sort of triple eye thing that he had. I don't remember exactly what that was about, but he just like lost all humanization to him, So I was like, for sure him. As I'm going through the list.
Oh, he's an amazing villain. I mean, the fact that he was the only one that made us kind of see what the head captain could do, because the head captain was always just that figure that kind of just stood there. It was like, if I had to get into this arc would be over type thing. But the fact that he was able to actually be him and show us his Bankai was amazing. And the fact that, I mean, he has the Almighty, so it seems like the most broken villain in the world. Like, how do you beat somebody that can already see what you're going to do? So like, it's kind of crazy.
Whenever
and he could get rid of it too. Like,
get rid. Yeah. Oh, and like he stole people's Bankai. Man, oh, that was terrible. I hated that so much.
Which brings us back to All for One.
Yeah. It is kind of crazy how similar they are.
Yeah,
man. But All for One is crazy because a lot of people don't realize that he took Hawk's abilities like before that last battle, and I thought that was crazy because when I rewatched it, I was like, "Oh crap, Hawk's out of the game now." And he don't even need that. Like, that's the crazy thing about that.
Did Lemillion ever get his power back?
Yeah, he got his back from the girl that can rewind
little girl.
time.
Yeah,
oh, that's right. Yeah. Because I was like, they're away, but you need Eri for that, I guess. But my second one is Sukuna from JJK.
Okay.
Yeah,
the main guy. Okay, I see.
I don't really have
a particular reason.
I don't have a particular reason. It's just how the whole couple seasons have played out, and just being a badass, and just wanting to, fight the strongest of the strong because he's bored or whatever. Like, all this is happening because he's bored, right? Like, he does not care about feelings or empathy or anything like that. Like, there's no, oh, someone wronged me back in the day, so I just have like this terrible complex that's evolved over the years, and that's why I feel the way I do now, whether it's be from like revenge or something like that, or it's just straight malice, and like a devil is a devil for a reason. Like, he just was born that way, and that's all he knows. Like, it's not good versus bad. He doesn't even see that. So the fact that like people are trying to be like, oh, but you're killing these people and you're torturing them. He's like, are you trying to like tell me a bad job, or like, what am I supposed to? I'm supposed to feel humiliation? Like, I don't even know the word.
Yeah, I mean, he was sealed away for a reason.
Yeah.
So I'd say he is number 2, and I was gonna say All for One too.
Yeah, now.
Yeah. I just saw this on the list, but I don't remember him specifically, but I remember him having a big impact whenever I was watching anime. Zach and I were probably watching this show at the same time. I think it was one of the few that we could agree on to watch simultaneously, as opposed to like having our own good thing that, don't screw with my show and I won't screw with your show. But it was Gurren Lagann when we like Anti-Spiral at the very end. I don't remember the reason for him being bad, but I know that it wasn't like a Sukuna level, that like there was humanity there, and there was a reason behind why he was acting the way he did. I mean, it's been so long since I've seen it, but I know it was one of my tops. So
Yeah, that was a pretty good anime. It's one of those animes where it gives you a character you feel like should be the main character, but he's not the main character. But when something happens to him, it like hurts. And it kind of gives me Jujutsu Kaisen feels where you feel like Gojo should be the main character, but he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh, it's Kamina, but no, it's not.
See, Gurren Lagann was one of those shows that like I genuinely didn't think I was gonna like because I'm not a huge like Gundam fan. But that show was just so good. It was so good. Just in the way they make you really like characters, and then they kill them off, and you're like, well, what happens now?
I mean, when this is like what ended up being like this wholesome like underground type thing. Well, not wholesome, but it was like collected, compartmentalized. It was so small, and then it went to like galaxies and things like that, right? Like it kind of opened up, and then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill this planet just because they're in my way. And I remember like whenever he was using his weapon, he would go through planets and just decimate hundreds of millions. And I'm like, okay, well, when the stakes are that high, it doesn't matter like what the reasoning is. You've become like
top
villain,
Yeah. If I had to state who are my top 3 villains, going real quick, I did have All for One on my list, so I'm gonna have to throw them away. I'm gonna just go ahead and replace it with my usual number 1, Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. I think Frieza is probably one of the funniest villains ever, even though he does say some off-brand things, but he's to me is still one of the funniest villains. I like his whole mindset of kind of trying to just beat on the top and trying to take out anybody that's on top of him type thing. For my next one, I have to go Orochimaru. I think Orochimaru from Naruto in the beginning was one of the best villains they had, where even though he was the first villain they had in the series, he still came off as a threat, even though almost to the end of the series. So I always got to give him his props. And to me, he was the only one in the beginning that actually kind of took a whole village by himself. So gotta give him that props.
That's true. Yeah.
And for my last one, this one is kind of touchy go because it's hard to say if he's truly the villain of the series, but to me, he has literally seemed like he has everything in plan. Whatever his end goal is, it's going to be amazing. I have to give it to Blackbeard from One Piece. I think Blackbeard is amazing. Every time you see him, the man is up to something, and it's just like it just comes to pass for him. Like he has not been in a situation where you're like, damn, he's gonna lose. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That you could say that for like most of the One Piece villains, like Big Mom. Like the amount of times that I went into the studio, I'm like, we're still fighting this bitch. I'm like, what is going on? It's crazy.
Yeah, and I like this how
just got decimated. What happened?
And the fact that we don't even know if she's even beaten right now, even though she went into a volcano or magma, she still could be alive at the end of the series. So I find that to be interesting to see if somebody end up picking her and Kaido up and adding them to their crew. Because at this point, it seems like now you just need the strongest crew at the end game of. I don't know if you guys read the manga of One Piece, but yeah, it's starting to get kind of crazy. Even if you're watching the series right now, it's getting kind of interesting.
I haven't even finished the series. I'm not even going to touch the manga because I know that's going to be even longer than the show.
Oh man!
I read something where a guy he hadn't seen the show, and so he was starting it, and then he was going to see how long it took him to get through it after watching it every day. It took him I think it was 9 or 10 months to get through constant watching just to get caught up to where we are now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way I could do that.
And that's back-to-back episodes, back-to-back.
Oh, that's his job, or like what's going on there?
I think that is his job. I don't know. I mean, what else can you do?
Yeah, I would think you got to at least take a little bit of breaks in between there and watch something else. I mean, One Piece is good, but it do have some moments where it's like, okay, I can probably skip this. You know what I mean?
A lot of filler episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
But before we swing into our interview, I just kind of want to ask you guys, have you guys watched any new movies or played any new games that you want to recommend or shout out real quick?
Yes, 100%. I don't know if you played it, Zach. I don't know if it's even available Well, yeah, it should be available for you. But Claire Obscure, I've been playing that.
I haven't started it, but it's on the list. Yeah, I heard really good things about it.
One of my favorite games of all time now. One of my favorite games.
Wow.
Like it's like Final Fantasy Tactics, Claire Obscure.
Ooh, now definitely I check that out.
Yeah. The acting is so good. Like, and the way they approach their world building and like the, you know, how every anime is like, okay, here's our world. This is how things work. You know, get used to it, and you know, we'll get into the nitty gritty here pretty soon. But for theirs, there was no buildup. Like it came out so naturally, and then we find out along the way what these words mean and how people are connected, why they're on this, like how the town is connected to the rest of the world, why they're on an island and things like that, and like what's the main conflict. And so like the actors do such a superb job, and like this is game of the year bar none. Like no Baldur's Gate 3 I don't even think compares.
Okay.
So and it's like, you know, it's got that turn-based, but it's also got, which I don't care about, like turn-based combat is fine for me. Whether it's active or turn-based is fine. I don't care. I like both. And then, but it has like, you know, everyone's talking about the parry system as well. And they really ease you into it. And they put different like harder aspects of it as you go through the acts. And it's just very natural. And me being a big Dark Souls fan, I just like, this has all the elements that are perfect for me, that I absolutely love. Now, the only thing that it's missing is if I could do co-op, local co-op or something, and people are already doing that on PC, but I'm PS5.
Okay.
Yeah, that is 100% recommend for sure.
I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, it's on my list. Tom Maglio, I think he posted.
Oh yeah, he was talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, who plays the lead in the Bartender show. I can't remember what it's called actually.
Bartender.
Is it called? Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah, he was telling me about it too. But my wife and I, we like playing like, well, we play a lot of Escape from Tarkov. It's probably like the top one that we play most. But right now we're getting into like the crafting, you know, build a house, you know, kind of game, like Stardew Valley. We played the absolute hell out of. RimWorld, we just, you know, got through playing that one, and then we moved on to, I think it's the Planet Crafter. It's basically you're stranded on this planet, and you have to gather resources and build a house and stuff like that. But you know, there's also this, I started like getting more into the game, and there's like a whole like lore behind like the messages and like the tablets and things that you find like underground with these past civilizations. And I don't know, it's the scenery of it all, like with like there's like moons in the background, and like you can eventually, you know, build ships and travel to these places. It's super cool. It's open world in a way, but not open world in the, you know, like Skyrim or anything like that. But yeah, that game, I'm itching to play it. My wife gets home in like 40 minutes, and we're gonna jump into that bit.
I feel like y'all would play No Man's Sky really well.
That's also on the list. I heard mixed things about it. If it was, I think that they were working on it, or maybe I'm like way behind on that. I don't know.
Well, for the like resource and building a base and things like that, I mean, that it's perfected now. Like all the kinks are out.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
it's really good now.
Sure, yeah, check one out. It's cool you and your wife play games together.
Oh yeah, we love those. Yeah, and we do like the we have Yahtzee night. We play Yahtzee, which is super cool. But we're, you know, getting older. You got to play the games you like.
Bingo night tonight, actually. Yeah.
And we do those like murder mystery things where they give you like the you know, it's a box. You have all the tools and clues and stuff. You have to find out who it is, and you have to like work together. You know what I'm talking about?
Like those big role play things, or
yeah, but like they like I'd go to Madness and I'd get like the murder mystery thing. It's like you could play it with like, I don't know, 4 people or whatever. Sometimes you have roles, sometimes you don't, and then you just read like the clues and things and try to figure out, like, it gives you a scenario. It's like, you know, this person was killed or whatever, and you have to figure out who did it.
Yeah, I've never seen it done in the board game, but I've always seen those episodes.
The only thing about it is it's you can only play it once. Because then
you already know who win.
So it's like, shit, this was $40.
Okay, it's one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny that you guys bring up games, because I haven't really played any games recently, but I've watched a lot of new movies. I just watched the new Final Destination movie, which was
I heard that was really good. Yeah,
I heard it was good. Yeah,
yeah. I like how they connected them all to one move, all back to this movie. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, they did.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Dude, that's so insane to me. Like, think of the feat of being able to take a 30-year franchise, right, and have an empty batch of time, like 10 years or so, 12 years or whatever, from the last Final Destination, and then come out and we're like, hey guys, what if we continued Final Destination and like we found some new ways to die, and let's make a sequel. And I'm like, if I was a producer on that, I'm like, no. If I was a studio exec, I'm like, absolutely cross that out. We're never doing that. It's gonna be dead on arrival. And like the fact that after all this time, people love it and think that, not only love it, but think it's one of the best ones in the franchise is insane.
Yeah,
that never happens. Like what's the path? Like, when has there ever been a history of a thing where like the latest thing is the best thing? And you don't see much of that.
Oh yeah, you don't see a lot of that. A lot of times, everybody usually like the original. And for this, I would say I kind of like this one a lot more than the first one, because this one kind of plays out a little bit more and kind of gives you more of what actually is kind of killing them, because it's kind of vague in the prior movies earlier, because I tried to watch all of them before I got to this one, kind of just see how it is. And the fact that it's like they keep telling you like death's after you, but like, what is death? Is this like the devil? Is it like who's coming after me? Is this the Grim Reaper? And it's just kind of vague, and you kind of get to the end, but they're really able to kind of connect all these movies from just one character, and I thought that was pretty cool, because they also allowed that to be his farewell too. So I thought that was pretty nice.
Do they like give a personification of this, or is it still like an invisible force at the end?
It's still kind of like an invisible force, but it kind of comes out at them like, okay, so it's in a core event that happens in the beginning. It's like on the Sky Tower, and what happens is a person saves everybody on that Sky Tower, and what happens is death takes so long to get them that it starts killing everybody within their family generations. So everybody within that was on there, all those movies connect to like they were part of somebody from their family. So it's just pretty interesting.
Damn. Okay.
Because technically none of them would have existed. So I thought that was.
So it seems like a curse, but it's actually just like trying to rectify
the situation, basically. And I think it's pretty cool, because you get to see this lady in the beginning of the movie who's basically then mapped out her whole life, because she's been dealing with it for like 50 years. So every little thing that happens, she's kind of like already on alert, like, oh shit, what is that? And it's just funny how like you can drop a penny that rolls, hit the light socket falls, and now you're dead. Like, it's just crazy how all that happens.
Yeah, that was always crazy to me.
Paranoia, that's crazy.
Then I've also got to catch up and watch the Invincible series. It took me a while. I had read the comics, so I was kind of like, oh, I don't need to kind of watch it. But man, the animation, the show is amazing. I love the way they're going with it. I would love to talk to somebody from that show, but it's been a little hard. Invincible.
Oh, Invincible. Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. You got to check it out.
My wife and I love that too. Yeah.
I thought they were already like doing the 4th season because where I watch it, they already had like the season 4 ready, but they haven't really shot it, or it's not even shown to be out yet. So I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I got
Isn't it? It was season 3 that came out, or was it part 2 of season 2?
It was season 3 that came out.
Okay, I couldn't remember. I know they had like a weird pause, and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. But going ahead, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into our interview. For my first question, I wanted to ask to both of you is basically what got you guys into voice acting, and what was the key factor that contributed to you guys pursuing it?
It wasn't really something that was on my mind until Branden was watching Full Metal Alchemist, and he was. I think I was like, "What are you watching?" And he was like, "Full Metal Alchemist." And I was like, "That stuff we used to watch when we were kids." I was like, "Okay." He was like, "It's really good. You should watch it." I'm like, "Yeah," and so I did, and I fell in love with it, and started watching, all of the shows that I could. I don't really know what at the time where everything was kept or how I was watching it. It might have just been like physical copies. But
we were doing like Toonami and Adult Swim.
Yeah. And then I got really, really big into Soul Eater and Fairy Tail, and from there, like I really wanted to meet Todd Haberkorn because I was like, this is what I kind of want to do now. And yeah, after that, I was like, I set my sights on getting into Funimation. And then so when Branden called me, when he first got called in, I was like, fuck. I'm like, good for you. And I'm just screaming in my apartment.
Holy.
But then I got a text a couple weeks later, and then they asked me to come in too. So I was like, yes. But that's how it kind of really all started for me anyway.
Okay. What about you, Branden?
As far as voice acting goes, I started with like musical theater and opera, and that's where my trajectory was going. When I got out of college, I was doing Shakespeare, and I loved Shakespeare, and like I sort of grew to love it in college. So I started doing a lot of that after college was done, and a bunch of the VAs here in Texas do a lot of classical work, and a lot of those directors, and they've been my friends since the beginning of college, really. Like, a little bit before, whenever I was professionally acting in the Texas theater scene, which was like 17 or so, was my first professional gig. I was doing work with them in the theater scene, and they're like, hey, we like your stuff. But like during my time of like going to high school and learning the tips and tricks in college, the two big things that we wanted to do, that everybody wanted to do in Texas, was get into a national musical tour, which I did do eventually, but making big money there, and you get to see a bunch of different places, and then voice acting, because they're like, that always seemed like such an elusive thing, because they're like, okay, we see some theater actors doing that, but like, how did they start? Like, how did they do it? Are we putting demos out? Or like, do we have to go on we have to watch for a particular month in the year to submit? And like, at the time, I think there was that, like, you have to wait a certain month whenever they were open, and then you can send demos in. And I was like, well, I don't even have a demo. How am I supposed to do this? Like, that seems like a lot of work. And then eventually I was like, okay, well, if this is the only way, then let me try and scrap some things together. And I remember doing that, but I didn't end up going that route. Before I could even do that, they told me to come in through recommendation, and it just kind of jumped start that way. So I came in with.
Oh, you didn't even audition or anything?
No. They saw my acting and stuff, and they're like, hey, do some bits here, and if they like you, then they'll send you a contract and you'll have more work.
Okay. So they brought you in for like Walla?
Not even Walla. It was just bits. It was an hour by myself. I couldn't hide with anybody else. And I was, 20 something voices. I remember calling Zac and I was like, let me tell you exactly what you need to do so that you're not.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So did you like backdoor for him to get in, or like, oh, I know somebody else y'all should call? Or
no, I don't think I did, because I know he was like, hey, can you like, or a bunch of people are like, hey, can you give me a word and send a recommendation my way. Even doing this 6 years and being in the game for a while, like I don't even think I can do that. It's just like you have to be a director who wants that person specifically for that show. Mm-hmm. And you can only take so many new people in at a time.
Yeah, it's only so many parts.
Yeah, and plus like it looks bad if like you're only hiring your friends and new people and things like that. So you have to finesse these kind of things.
I mean, it's tough too, I feel like, because most of the directors that do the shows around here, you're technically friends with the people that you're doing these shows with. Because if you talk to anybody at Crunchyroll or Funimation in the day, or even just the old school Funimation actors, if you ask any of them, they're like Joe McDonald and Sean Gann, and
I'm talking to Sean again tomorrow.
Oh, you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean's the one that got me in.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The one who got me in.
Yeah.
Was it Kaiju number 8 or?
No, he first got he recommended me to Joel, and One Piece was the first thing that I did back 7 or so years ago, back at the Fishman Village arc. Oh. And yeah, like Brandon said, it's 1 hour. You go in there and do bits. I remember, I couldn't have been sweating anymore. I my arm. That's why I only wear black shirts, because like if I sweat, I mean you can see it, But it was. I remember like doing. He was like, there's 3 beeps. After the 3rd beep, give it a second and then go. I was like, okay. And I was playing some either a guard or a prince or something, and I was like, "Highway coming, princess," and he was like, "You're gonna have to speak up." I'm like, "Okay." And he would click the thing, and I guarantee you, this guy's a piece of shit. He can't do anything. But he was like, "Just do it." And I was like, "Whatever." So I was like, and then eventually was just like screaming into the microphone, and I've been doing that ever since. So, yeah. But when Sean became a director, or a full-time director, I think the first thing that he pulled me in for, I want to say it was Buddy Daddies. And yeah, and then there was the Undead Unwanted Adventure, maybe. That's not him. Okay. There's a the main character is dead or dying or something. I don't know. And I played a character in that, but yeah. Sean is good people. He and Marcus Simic are one of my oldest friends, and they're also my mentors for getting into this industry. So I always have to shout them out anytime we talk about this stuff.
Oh, Marcus Simic, I've done a lot of podcasts with his brother. I always get their names mixed up, so I always say the brother.
Oh, they love that. Yeah. That's so
oh yeah. Yeah, Marcus did my demo. He knows a lot.
He knows the industry backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
And he's got his own studio.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
So Zac, did you do any like prior acting before, or did you do plays or anything, or did you just kind of jump right into it?
So when I, high school, I did plays and stuff like that, and I, in junior high and all that, kind of following in the same footsteps as Branden, and trying to establish myself outside of his shadow, which I'm still trying to do today. But I had always loved acting. I in fact, I was writing my own plays in high school. I had like a little journal where I would write down either just ideas or full-on scripts, which I think I ended up throwing away because I was like, this is not worth anything. I thought for some, they were good, but then I would get too into my head. And I'm like, whatever. That's, but and then I went to college in Missouri, and I joined the theater department there, and did some shows. I feel like I wasn't really doing much there. I was always competing with this one dude, and I can't remember his name. I'm not gonna try and say it because I don't even know if it's true. But I want to say Jonah. It's not Jonah. Anyway, this dude, yeah, Jonah Hill was at my college.
How old is that guy?
He's older than me. But I ended up dropping out because I was like, what I really want to do is voice acting, and I don't think I need a degree to do that. So I did, and then I came back, to Texas, and I started doing theater just to, get more experience, and I was, waiting tables or whatever in the meantime, and yeah, from there, I had a clear vision of what I wanted to do. I knew I was in the right place to do it, so I just did it.
And we have done shows together. We did a couple musicals like Grease in high school, and then we did State Fair the musical in Fort Worth after I was done, I think. But that is, if no one knows that, I think that's like one of Stephen Sondheim's like at least works that is never done for a reason.
It's funny because when you were talking, Zach, you were like, you're trying to get out of his shadow and everything. And I was like, oh, you don't have to worry about that. And I look up and I see all those trophies in the back, and I'm like, oh, well, then maybe a little bit.
Those are not mine. Those are not. Every single podcast, they're like, look how many trophies you have. Look, they're mostly cheerleading, so I don't.
Oh, well. Yeah.
I will say at the end of the day, I've really never seen a voice acting trophy, so you really could have been like,
he actually made it himself, so that's great. Yeah.
Best actor in cheat skill, no.
But my next question I want to ask is, you both are in one of my favorite recent animes, Kaiju No. 8, mainly because we're all in that older age and we kind of still have dreams and want to be able to do things and stuff like that. What was the audition process and how was it working with Sean Ginn? You guys kind of already touched on that a little bit, but any favorite moments from the show?
You know what? I don't know if I asked you, Zach, about the audition process and how you felt about it, about Kaiju. Because I can tell you right now, with me, I was in Houston. I was staying with a friend. I was doing some work there. I was deathly sick. And I had all this mucus and crap, and the way they had this, their setup is sort of for like their auditioning process for my friend. It was like out in the open. They just put a blanket over, and they have some good equipment under there, but there's not like a dedicated space, and it's not like a full room or anything. You're just there's a living room, and then there's the bedroom, and then in the middle in that hallway is where they would do auditions. And for me, I really get in my head when there's somebody in another room and I'm having to like go all out, and I'm like, I wonder what they're thinking right now. And you can only give so much, but also the fact that I was like trying to act my ass off, and then also get over know my limitations of the sickness as well. And I clearly did not have a handle on these guys at all. Like I was like, oh, me and Landon kind of go for similar characters, and I was like, oh, Hoshina or whatever his name is, and I thought he was a villain because I was like, the way he looks and the way the lines are kind of maybe, and so I just went a totally different direction. And there's a specific laugh in there, and Landon has that specific laugh that's so effortless, and I cannot tell you how long I spent on that laugh, how many takes I spent on that laugh, because during the middle of the laugh, whenever you're laughing and you're vibrating kind of a little bit higher than your normal frequency, you have to give effort and on your throat and in the nose. All that mucus was like, anytime I would laugh, I'm like, well, that take's useless. So yeah, it was pretty infuriating. And I was like, should I even send this in? And there are people like, yes, like you have to if you want to be considered. Because Sean goes based off of auditions and how you sound in the audition. He does not go based off of anything else, not follower count or anything.
Okay.
So, yeah, Zach, how was yours?
So it's almost like a clean slate every time you come in there.
100%.
Yeah, which I think is great, because there are those directors like that use just the generals auditions that we send in, which that's cool. I mean, that's fine. It's just I feel like you
made improvements since then.
Yeah, I mean, and you can I think you can say, hey, can I resubmit this or whatever? I think yeah. I just haven't, because I don't even remember what I sent in, but I've got a whole folder, of all of those kept. But the Kaiju audition process was, so I remember reading for Kaiju No, and I was going through the bit there. I think one of the lines that was selected was when the I guess the kaiju thing like enters his mouth when he's in the hospital. And I was like, how do I get this to sound like there's actually something in my mouth as I'm screaming? So I'm doing the audition, and I've got French doors in my office, and I remember my daughter was like walking up to say goodnight to me or something, and I'm full on wrist deep in my mouth, like so that I was trying to do something to make it sound like this thing was actually going to start. I did the line, and then I think it was just like gurgling or something like that was the cue. So I just shoved my hand in my mouth, and I was like, I'm not getting this. I don't know why I did that. But I don't even think, no, I don't think I auditioned for Ikaruga. I think Sean, I guess just based off of the audition, thought I would be good for that role, because he kind of looks like an intense person, right? Just a really gravelly, low dude, and he's always yelling at the vice captain. And now season 2 is going to be really good, which comes out here I think in a month or so.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we'll see more of my character in that, so that'll be cool.
And like,
okay.
So just so because you're like, oh, you guys are both in it. Like technically yes, but like then again no, because I'm just a bit part of an old man who notices
the kaiju.
The kaiju. I'm the
are you the guy in the hospital?
Yeah.
Is that was you? Oh shit. I didn't know that was you.
Stupid. And I was like, you want me to do that? And he's like, oh yeah, you're great at comedy bits. And I'm like, okay, sure. Most of the bits and the Wallace stuff that I've done for Sean lately have been old guys, and I feel like nobody else brings me in for that kind of stuff, so he must like it. I don't know.
I think he's got something too, because like everything that he's been bringing me in for lately was like animals. Like I've done like a chicken for him at one point. It was just he was like, can you just give me your best macaque? And I was like, yeah. And then the dog in the recent episodes of Apothecary Diaries.
Oh, okay. That's you?
He was like, just bark and pant and stuff. And there was like 3 different cues of panting that I had to do. And then I came back so I've been 2 different episodes of that. You had to
come back and redo that?
Yeah, I had to come back and bark more. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So yeah. Sean definitely has he's like, you know what? Animal, old guy.
Preacher's old guy, yeah.
Bring him in.
Well, at least he keep y'all on his mind, you know what I mean? It's like,
oh yeah.
Dog. Yeah, I gotta get Zach.
Yeah.
For my next question, so far out of all the performances you guys done in voice acting, which performance do you consider your best?
Oh, you don't want to do this one first?
I mean, I can. It'd have to be between 2. I know it'll probably change here next year after Felix comes back for Link Click, whenever, because this was just like a backstory kind of arc type thing. But 2 two of them were I got to explore basically every facet of human emotion. Is my lead in Tying the Knot with a Namagami Sister, 24 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, rom-com type thing. It starts off as like a rom-com harem-ish thing, but it really starts to get into the backstories of the sisters and him, and like losing his mom, not believing in the gods. The sisters are trying to like get him into medical school, and you know, slowly believing in the gods, and like supernatural things happening that like change viewpoints that were like super solid. I super hate this, or I super don't believe in this. And then you see everyone has this arc, and it's beautiful, and like everyone grows, and everyone has their moment. And yeah, there was a few crying episodes in there. It was beautiful. Also, Long Chincho in Heaven Official's Blessing starts off as this really naive guy, just sort of happy-go-lucky, don't really want to deal with work, but I'm here, you know, I'm here for the meeting. Martial god. And then like through the course of the later half of the show, finds out like, you know, his mentor ended up killing his dad, but the reason behind killing him was because he was going to kill the clan who came after him and his family, and like his family died, and his best friend ended up being one of the leaders who betrayed him. And it's just like his world is completely shattered, and this villain who he's fighting ends up like just taunting him with this information, and it's just too much. So yeah, like the last 4 episodes gets really hot and heavy, and I just really enjoyed that, because you don't get, with the amount of work that we do, you don't get those a lot, and when they do, you have to grab hold of them and really give them what they deserve. And that's when the acting background really comes in handy. It's because there's too much that you have to worry about, and so much technical stuff and timing that you have to get done. Like, it's so fast paced. If you don't have it, it's gonna show, and we don't have time for you to get it. So that's my stuff.
I mean, you know, do I have a favorite where I thought I did the? I mean, it's
like, if you can send this one to, if this was your audition or your demo, like, which one would you send to people?
Oh, that's not good.
Pass. Just playing.
All right.
I mean, I really did enjoy playing Takumi and the greatest alchemist of all time. I think he did kind of stay in a certain range of emotion. There were times where you could kind of really see what was going on through his head, you know, trying to protect his people and his, you know, harem. I wouldn't say it's the best. I still get hate messages on that show today.
Oh,
you know,
my God.
but I still get I get people messaging me about, you know, like they thought it was really good. They really enjoyed it. They can't wait for season 2. I'm like,
some people think it's their favorite show of all time.
Yeah, people have. Yeah, they've come out and said like this is like their top 5 show. I'm like, that's great. I mean just to be somewhere on a list of anybody is weird to me, but I'm really grateful for it. I think the best, and it's not even a named character, in the Ancient Magus Ride, I played a guy who was getting his head stabbed by the lead villain lady. And there was like, I think we were there for like 2 hours doing just a random mix of, you know, different soldiers or whatever. But I got to do one of them where like you could just see everything on his face, where he was just like accepting this whole situation where he was going to die, and then getting to it to like where it was confusion as to why this was happening, and then the screaming, and then the final the death moment. I think Danny was directing that, and she was like, just give me like he's getting stabbed in the head, so give me like a really gurgly. So I was just like, I bit my tongue a little bit, so I had a bunch of saliva, and I was like,
Sound came out.
Yeah, and she was like, and then I did another take of it too. She was like, I need more of it. And I was like, okay. So like I was starting to like, manipulate my mouth in different ways to make just the most disgusting sound. And I think it ended up making it to the final take, but he just gets stabbed in the head. He's on the ground. He's crying, asking why. And then the noise, it was just, I don't know. It was a lot of fun. And I think that character, whoever he was like, I don't know, at the time, the best acting that I had done in an anime.
What a hard bit.
Yeah, it was a really hard bit. Like but I love getting those hard bits, because usually like I think I did recently, I did like To Be Hero, the zombies running through and all that, like when Emily had me do that, and I was like, this is perfect. I was like, I can make the perfect zombie noise. And those I feel like are easy to do, like the creatures and monsters and things like that. But when it comes to like actual people like dying or whatever it is, or like facing some sort of dilemma, it does make it challenging for just a bit character. Like it's not even like a named character. Although I did have a named character in a show, and he had one line, and it was like, "Oh yeah, you too." And then he just never came back. I can't remember who it is, but he's on like a list of like characters that people love or hate, and he's like up there with like the most loved. I'm like, he had one line, like it was it.
And must have delivered it great.
Yeah,
characters or bits that start off as bits that are not named, and then they're in every episode.
Yeah.
True.
Which is like my guy in Buchigiri. Like Lee's like, oh, here's this cat guy. I don't know. He might appear later. And then he ended up getting a name, and then he was in like every show or every episode. And I'm like, yeah, please, thank you. Anyway.
Winding down to my last 4 questions for you guys. For my next question, I want to ask you, Zach. I saw you recently got into assisting directing. What sparked that interest, and what are you interested in getting into directing?
I am not a director.
Oh, did I get that wrong? Okay.
Yeah. So you probably Googled me and saw like the Twitter. It was like, I'm an assistant. I retweeted Ben Stagmeyer's tweet, and so now it looks like I'm the one saying that, but I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that was like the last.
You would be interested in doing, or?
Oh yeah, I mean, if somebody was like, hey, I need somebody to fill in for this, slot, would you do it? I'm like, yeah, I would do it 100% of the time, because I think I can't remember who I was talking to about this, but it was Chris Sweatcamp, I think is who it was I was talking to. He was like, if somebody ever offers you to do directing, you do it. Just say yes, because the amount of things that you learn, watching these people get into their characters or whatever kind of bits that they're doing in between takes. He's like, I take some of those and I still use them today. So that's one thing that I even just to be in the room, just sitting in the corner while everything is happening for the day, I think I would 100% do that too.
And I have directed stuff, and that's kind of my goal, is eventually to be a Crunchy director or something.
Yeah.
Video game director. But they've kind of changed their process, and it's weird how they do things. But yeah, I mean, I've directed some demos. I did some video games, some visual novels. Nothing too crazy, but I did enjoy the time that I did direct some stuff, and like the casting process in general, and just like getting a whole roster together. Like I have like a roster of, I don't know, I want to say 200, 300 people. And that took a long time, and then after you get like the initial and then you just get to like cherry pick your favorites. Yeah, it's a good time. I want to do more. I haven't done it in a while, but yeah, that's on the docket. Plus, like, I've done a bunch of directing classes with Marcus as well, and I know that he wants to do some more stuff with me as far as directing goes, and writing for like his studio and things. So yeah,
that's interesting because I recently did an interview with Kevin Thelwell, if you guys know him.
Oh yeah.
And he does a lot of assistant directing, and he told me basically his process of what got him into it and stuff like that. And it kind of got me interested in the whole directing aspect of everything, and coming in basically filling in when people are sick or they need to take a day of leave or something like that. So I thought that was interesting. For my next question is for you, Branden. You landed the lead role in Tying the Knot with an Origami Sister. What was that like, and do you feel like you are connected to the main character in any way?
Yes, I do. He starts off it starts off. I mean, in the opening episodes, he is a clean freak, and I like to keep clean. Okay. And when my friends were watching the episode, they were like, "This guy's you. You're not even happy to act at all. Like, what is it?"
You like to shower. He likes to shower.
No, but it's just like the level of OCD and like the level of cleanliness, and he's like, "You're not doing this right. You're not doing this right, and you're barely even trying." And they're like, "Oh, that's legit. Exactly what you would say if you were in your own place or whatever." And so yes, there was that connect. I mean, very small connect, but still a connect. And to be with this legendary group of people like Monica Rial, Abigail Blythe, Hayden Davio,
some legends right there.
I mean, just stacked. And I was like, dude, me? Like, I cannot believe, like, all these people have had leads out the butt, they've been in this biz for a while, and Abigail has been killing it lately. And so I was like, I don't think I should be here. And they're like, trust yourself, your instincts are great, your acting's great, you're keeping up, so enjoy the process. And I was like, okay, this is kind of, this is one of their B stories, and they're just trying to fill some spots or whatever. But as the story went along and progressed, I was like, oh, this is, it kind of seems biased because you're a part of the show, but, oh, this is different than the rest of the rom-com harems. Like, I promise. But, yeah, I mean, it really went to some really great places that really challenged us from an acting perspective. And that's always great because, like, it's really easy for these kind of shows to just stay the same and stay consistent, and it just be like an episode of the week type of like, oh, what kind of shenanigans are we getting into today? Mm-hmm. Whereas this one kind of got deeper and deeper and deeper, and like everything was connected. The previous episodes like lend itself to the next episode, and
so it wasn't episodic.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it certainly started off that way in the first few, but I think like there were arcs that started like
they were trying to establish the story, basically.
Yeah. It really hit the backstory pretty hard, so I liked it a lot, and was really surprised by how much depth that you could get out of it. So yeah, I was very happy with it.
Okay. I checked out the first 2 episodes last night. I got to go ahead and try to finish the anime when I get some time. But I just kind of wanted to see a little bit and kind of do a little bit of research and see how everything was. And I'll say I thought you did pretty good in the role.
Keep it going. Yeah, let me know.
For my next question I want to ask you guys is, what emotion do you guys find hard to portray?
I mean, laughing.
That's interesting. Okay.
Right, because like
I've got a few people that have said that.
It's just because I want to laugh how I would want to laugh and not have it timed out. Like the whole fact that it's timed out makes it, and like laughing and crying, like those should naturally occur, right? And you're trying to artificially make them happen within this time frame. So that automatically makes them difficult. Like, oh, if you go a second longer than what you're supposed to, or maybe like 2 or 3 seconds longer, and like you just feel it, right? The problem is, if you do that and they're not able to squish it, then you have to redo it, and it has to be just as good, if not better. It has to be better, and get it within the time frame. Because if they try to just cut it within time, then it'll be and it doesn't sound natural, and like it doesn't work. You know, it's got to peter out and all this stuff. But yeah, I'd say that's kind of difficult.
I could see that, because like when Vijay Randall got this weird when he's fighting the Remedios, I think, or who it was, but in the fight scene he's like laughing. He's like, all I seek. But like he laughs and then just abruptly just stops out of nowhere, and it just goes into the next line. And it was super weird to time out, because like when I was like, there's no way this worked. He was like, perfect. And I was like, what?
And then a lot of the time, if the J will do a laugh into a line, like they'll want to separate that, even though you're trying to emulate them. They want that separated so that it's easier to put together.
Yeah.
So you're not doing the exact same thing, and like you're trying to do a little hitch in the middle of it, and it's like, does this sound right? This sounds so weird, but like it makes sense for the engineers. I don't know. It's weird.
That's interesting, because I've gotten so many different answers from this, from like crying, from trying to be assertive. That was an interesting one. So it's like being assertive. That's hard.
The stoic for me is tough. I don't know why. I can never sell the stoicism.
That is what I think is like takes a master of acting in order to do, because you know there's plenty of main characters. One in Link Click where Zeno Robinson plays. Oh geez, I feel terrible for Lu Guang. That is completely stoic guy, and also the emotions are kind of almost like an out-of-body extracted experience, because he's having to live through these timelines of his friend dying and trying to prevent that, but living through this year that he's already done. And it's like it gets boring, or I've already lived this, so like I'm not going to try. Anything I do isn't going to change it. This specific instance isn't going to change. So just like let me get on with my day and don't bother me, so I can worry about the actual day that matters, right? And like Zeno talks about how he has to constantly police himself, because he's like you can get any old regular actor who can do the stoic. In fact, you can find someone who's brand new who will think that they're putting on the acting thing of a lifetime, and they're actually being stoic, which is what I was doing whenever I first started, because it's a different type of acting. And like trying to get that disconnect but also stay engaging is so hard. It's such a fine line to ride. And like there are times when Zeno finishes an episode and he'll say to Jerry, like, I'm just gonna redo as much as I can, because like now I'm in the rhythm and I know what feels off, and I want to go back to the beginning now that I'm in the swing of things, and just keep going until time runs out. And Jerry's like, whatever, you know your thing, go ahead. So yeah, I would agree with that.
That's interesting. One I got that I thought was cool. I want to ask you, what about pride? Being prideful, you think that's hard to portray?
Like the different types of emotions, I don't think so. It just comes off of training and making sure you're in the right headspace, and that you're not letting your real life affect what's in the studio, which unfortunately does happen from time to time. But like, you know, it's a muscle. You just build it, and you'll get better at it, especially if you've been in there for years and years. Like it gets easier. But no, I relish that stuff. Like I love my comedy, and some people only know me for my comedy, And then some people only know me for my like drama stuff. Like Jerry, he's like, I know you can do the comedy bits or whatever, but I need someone who knows how to get this done immediately, because I'm not going to do it for them, right? So you have to know your stuff, and he knows me for that. But no, I wouldn't say like being prideful or being assertive, being angry or anything like that is not something I shy from.
No, especially being like being a parent, you kind of get used to being assertive and whatnot.
You are the villain, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the pride. No, I mean, I feel like that's generally pretty easy. You know, you have to kind of slip into that. As an actor, you want to kind of, you don't want to be like that prima donna, person in real life. So, you just kind of have to stay humble. But when you're doing those characters, you're like, I can kind of slip into this now, and you kind of capture what that is.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what it is to me, I think.
For my next question, I want to ask you, do you guys have any advice for anybody that wants to get into voice acting?
What's your advice, Zach?
I mean, this is like the top question that people always ask. Anytime you go to a convention or anytime that they find out you're an actor, this is always what they want to know. And I always tell them the same thing. I'm like, what you're doing now is like the biggest thing, is that you're showing interest in it, and you when you want to do it. People are always going to say, take classes and things like that. I think just doing theater, I mean, that's what's one of the biggest things that you could do. Just getting used to establishing characters and building, these kind of, relationships within the story. And I'm going to go out on a limb and do an unconventional answer. I think playing D&D is probably one of the biggest things you could do too, because not only are you establishing your own character, you're also having to do improv the entire night.
Which you need for Walla.
Which you need for Walla, yeah, because if you're going in there and you're just saying things, they're not going to bring you back. But if you're just riffing with the person next to you, yeah, I mean, it makes the Walla session. So yeah, I think theater and D&D or some kind of role-playing game where you have to improv like that, I think that's the best thing you could do. And then of course, to actually get into things, start taking classes and stuff like that.
Okay. That's the first time I heard D&D, but that do make sense.
I mean, that's my answer.
D&D?
Both of those, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not to be like elitist or anything like that, but there are people in the industry who only take voice acting classes and think that that's enough. And they have no foundation in acting. And that is something that is sorely lacking, especially when there's a bunch of anime now, like, especially after the pandemic, after now, everybody and their mom is watching it now, and everybody thinks it's cool, right? We're getting more properties, we're getting better writing, we're getting better animation, and you need grounded performances. Because think about it, I mean, One Piece, yeah, is out of left field and crazy, wacky, yeah, you can, absolutely. There's still shows like that, but then there's things like Hell's Paradise, Metallic Rouge, where these original works are asking so much of the actors and demand the next level of depth for these shows to reach the status that they have. You have to have really, really good actors, not voice actors. You need actors. Like, we're not worried about what type of voice you can do. For the most part, most of my stuff is just me. Like they don't want me for the 4 or 5 different voices I can do. It's mainly just like, you have the ability, so here's something that's resembling close to what your natural range is. And so that, like, since that's 90% of the work now, we need actors. So make sure that you have that ability to do so. Improv, whether that be like, so voice acting classes are like price-wise or their own thing, right? Meisner, like Stanislavski, Adler, Chekhov, like all of the greats, right? Like whether it's finding a book or finding a class on YouTube or a person talking about those specific acting styles, I think would open up a whole new world as far as like, if you don't have access to that type of acting, you definitely should at least know what they are and how to access them and what the difference is between each one, so that you have like a lexicon of things that you can use for different situations, depending on the show. Like, oh, I've never killed anybody, but you know what I have killed? Some ants, some mosquitoes, you know? And that's kind of the Chekhov way. But just like, well, you've never killed anybody, but like, think of that little mosquito's life, and you know, it's just like finding the thread in certain things that you may not have lived. Like, you're not a serial killer, but you got to get into the mind somehow, right? And how are you going to do that? So yeah, I'd say, just to kind of expand upon what Zach has already said, is get some classes in that. And like, again, I have a degree. You don't necessarily need a degree like Zach doesn't, but he knows his stuff, you know? So yeah, I'd say that.
All right. And for my last question, I want to ask you guys is, what's something you guys still want to accomplish in voice acting?
I know what you're going to say, Branden.
You go. What do you think I'm going to say?
Nobody has ever used this on a show as like, you know, any kind of like friends or siblings or anything like that. Like, nobody has done that yet, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just that there's not a whole lot of those kind of relationships in anime. But that's the one thing that I think could be a big selling point, is that, you know, you've got people that are related to each other working at the same studio doing the same thing. So let's hook it up, find a show, and put us both on it.
Which is really.
It'd be cool if y'all could do, like, if you were like the main antagonist and you were like the main protagonist, and that'd be cool.
That would be cool too. Yeah, I would love that. But yeah, specifically like the brothers, because Windbreaker literally has twin brothers right now. But
oh yeah,
but they didn't get brothers to play.
But I've yet to work with Enman. He's the only director I have not worked with.
I just recently started, and it's, you know, uphill battle trying to figure out what I can do. And so I am one of the brothers in that show, but I rarely speak, so I haven't announced it, because I'm like, you're gonna notice me from like a CM grunt or whatever. There's no way. So I'm just not gonna do it. But yeah, I would love for us to be able to do something as like siblings in shows, whether it be like a protagonist antagonist. That would be really fun. Also, I would just like to be, I'm kind of opening myself up to like more video games and stuff like that. So I would, like, all these people have Genshin and Honkai Star Rail. I'd love some kind of character in that. Like, I've been in Genshin, but it's just like 20 or something.
It seems like everyone's been in Genshin. That's like on everyone's IMDb.
Yeah, but that's like, it's also different now that the strike is happening, and like they're like, okay, screw you guys, we're gonna hire in England now or something. So I don't even think that's even on the radar anymore. So now I think it might be Honkai. But I don't know, just to kind of like be known for something that's not just Crunchyroll, which I love doing, but I also want to try and get some big video game of some sort.
Yeah.
Okay. Do any of you guys like aspire to do like a Disney movie or something, or?
Yeah, that could be cool. I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously, as actors, you're always wanting to do whatever and always accept roles. It would definitely be interesting, you know, to see what kind of show it would be, because I know there's a new Disney movie coming out soon. That, you know, maybe
Star Wars.
It's a different, Star Wars, even, because Disney owns everything. So, you know, are we in Disney right now? I don't know.
We might be.
I know that some of the shows that we're in are on Disney now.
Yeah.
So you never know.
All right. Well, before we end this, I wanted to ask you, Zach, did you get the news about Kaiju #8, the manga ending soon?
Yes, I did read that this morning, and I wasn't going to bring it up, but thank you.
First of all, how dare you?
First of all, through God, all things are possible. So jot that down.
Jot that down.
Yeah, I did read that, and that's
really sad, you know.
It is, because like I feel like there's more story to be told, and this could be, you know, a thing that keeps that. I mean, hell, but my Heroes got 6-7 seasons, 24 or 48 episodes each. I'm like, Kaiju, they were nominated for a award, so
yeah, I might get 3 or 4 depending on how many chapters got put in the next season, but. I think it's a recent trend right now. It seems like everything's ending kind of earlier than it used to in the past. Like,
there's not like a global kaiju yet. You know what I mean? Like, you're just sticking to a region, which is fine. But like, can it expand? Can you see a bigger threat? Absolutely,
for sure.
So I'm like, man, the amount of potential. But am I glad that like it's not gonna go the route of some other shows where it's just like, oh, this is now worse now that you continued it. I don't want it to go that route, and I don't think it would if it did, but there is the possibility of it getting worse over time. But I honestly just want it to continue. Like there's certain shows that help lead the pack, and we thought Kaiju was going to be one of them, you know.
For sure, especially when it seemed like they put a lot of money into it and everything. But I honestly think it's just because a lot of manga writers at this point in time usually get sick or fatigue like towards the end of their manga run, and they don't usually be able to finish it. So I guess now people are like, you know, I'd rather finish it on a good note and then move on to something else and then just work from there than like, oh, are you going to be able to finish it? Because I know people who read Hunter x Hunter, you might never get into that because
hiatus. Yeah.
Like,
something's coming back for that though.
I don't
know what it is, but they announced it and I saw it somewhere.
Yeah, I think the manga writer was supposed to come back. Then I know he got a really bad back, and he like did 2 or 3 chapters. Now he's on another hiatus. Like, it makes me wonder how like drawing affects your back. But I guess it's a lot of interesting things.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Also, Zach, I don't know if you know this, but like Kaiju, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the most watched dub in the dub. You know, like as opposed, like if you had to compare sub and dub, whatever, Kaiju gets the most watchers dubbed, and that's that's insane.
Yeah, it's funny because like I was just reading something the other day where people were like, I can't believe people hate this show, and I'm like, who says that? I'm like, I've never heard anybody say that. I'm like, I get people are saying like, meh, it's not what I thought it was going to be, but I hate. I don't think so.
I've never gotten hate yet. I'll say the only thing I can say is I just want more Kafka moments. It seemed like the first season he just had to hide it more. Now at least the second season you think he'd be able to jump into it more often. So
I've read the manga. I'm fully caught up, and this next season is going to be pretty good.
That's definitely what I want to see. And then you want to see how those top ranks compare to his top kaiju form, because I wonder if he leave them in the dust or not.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if there was anything else you guys want to discuss before we wrap up.
I have Pop City Con coming August 8th through 10th in El Paso. And there's some other ones in like October, November, but that's for later.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll
can check out my Instagram and stuff for that the info for the Pop City Con.
Yeah. And I haven't made an official announcement for it yet, but I'll be at Madness Comics in Plano on July 19th. So I'll be doing signings there with some different isekai people. So yeah.
So I'll post that and have all the links and stuff below and have everybody be able to reach out to you guys. And with that, we end today's episode. I want to thank my guests for coming on and chatting it up with me. I had a whole lot of fun and learned so much more about the industry of voice acting, and hopefully you listeners did too. Before we close out, I just want to allow my guests the opportunity to plug themselves, basically tell the audience where they can find you. So just give us your social media.
Just Twitter, or X. Zac Loera VO. You can follow me on there. Everything else is for family. You don't deserve to have those. I'm just kidding. Yeah, just X, just X. And I'm not even good at posting on there, so don't expect anything.
What's your handle?
I said it. Zac Loera VO.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't hear that.
I was gonna have Zelo VO, but then you have that. I think
Brand VO.
Yeah, and I didn't want to do the same thing, so.
Yeah, on Twitter it's Brand Low VO, and then Instagram is Brand Low _VO because they had that already in Instagram.
Okay. Man, that's interesting, but okay.
Yeah, so whoever has it first, let me buy it off you. Screw you.
There's a guy that has mine too. He's out of England, and I messaged him. I was like, "It's crazy because we have the same name." He was like, "Yeah," and then we just stopped talking.
That's where the commonalities end.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I can't ask you for it if it is your name. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, it is the exact same name. I'm like
you deserve it, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
But thanks for having us on.
Yeah, dude. It was a lot of fun.
Nice talking to you guys. If you guys had any questions for them, I'll have all their links and stuff below, and you guys can just go ahead and shoot them a message. And with that, I just want to say, peace.